A very good morning to all of you. Myself, Dr. Surekha Godbole, Professor and Head Department of Prosthodontics. I will be delivering lecture on selection of artificial teeth for complete dentures. As all of you know, and you have made the complete dentures in the preclinics. But in the preclinics, you have selected teeth whatever has been given to you and you have fabricated the dentures. Being in the clinic, when you will come to third year, the selection of artificial teeth is an essential clinical step and one should know why it is so significant. This is going to give the aesthetics, which is the major concern of any restorative dentistry. This topic, after I'll teach you, you should be able to understand what is the need for replacement of missing teeth, why you have to replace the teeth, what is the criteria for selection of anterior teeth, because today I will be dealing the first part, that is only the selection of anterior teeth. What are the various concepts based on which you select a teeth, and the dentogenic concept is one of the most important. The types of teeth which are available and which should select, all these objectives you have to understand. So the selection of teeth, as in the denture you are saying that it has different surfaces. On the occlusal surface, the teeth, what you can see, and the denture base. The characterization of both the denture base and the teeth gives a complete aesthetic look to the dentures. Look at this picture. The smile is the non-verbal way of communication, and the anterior teeth, after when you smile, your anterior teeth get exposed. So how are they? It looks, the natural teeth, the smile looks very energetic. If we could, it is possible for us to duplicate the same in the artificial substitutes. It will be possible for us to provide natural look to the artificial restoration, that is the denture. In the old age, just look at the lady. There are age changes. You can see the wrinkles, the glasses, and no teeth. What we can provide for such lady is the replacement with the artificial dentures, which will suffice both the purposes of aesthetics and function. So the selection of anterior teeth for an individual in construction of complete denture is very important and essential steps. As the purpose or the objective of any prosthesis is to restore the function, that is the mastication, phonetics and aesthetics. Your complete denture has to fulfill all these three, and in fulfilling the third one, that is the aesthetics, the anterior teeth are playing the major role. So how to select and what to select? You have to select the teeth for its size, its shape or the form, the material of which it is made, and the shape. This all in combined will give you the total effect. And based on which we are going to select the teeth, there are certain principles. Those are use of pre-extraction guides, size of anterior teeth, form or the mold of the anterior teeth, color and shade of the teeth, and dentogenic concept in selection of artificial teeth. We will see each in detail. Pre-extraction guides, what are those? As its name suggests, these are the things which are available with the patients, or you have to ask the patient to get it before the extraction, that is pre-extraction, which will help you in the selection of the teeth. For example, the photographs, the front and the profile photographs. If patient has this, it is very good, or else during the teeth selection, that is after your jaw relation, you have to select the teeth, you have to instruct the patient to get his photographs along with mostly the front and the profile photographs, which will give you the idea about the exposure of the teeth, and the profile photograph about the inclination, the lingual inclination of the teeth, so that you can get the idea how the lip is supported in photographs, and the same thing you can replicate in the dentures. The radiographs, though this is not a very reliable pre-extraction record because it may be elongated or get shortened, but the it gives you idea about the size of the tooth, especially for the anteriors. This is the most important, and if it is with the patient, it gives you the idea about the size, the shape, not about the shade, the mesiodistal width, the labio-incisal height of the teeth. If it is articulated, even about the occlusion also it can give the idea. You can visualize how the teeth were before on the model, before extraction. Of course, this diagnostic cast should be dentulous, means patient having the teeth, if he has undergone any dental treatment in the past and if he has preserved those, it will be a very useful pre-extraction guide. Extracted teeth. Some people, they may keep their teeth with themselves after the extraction of the teeth. So that will also help you in the selection of the teeth. Profile silhouettes, that is the cutouts. If some patients, they have certain mask-like things, that gives the idea about the, not exactly for the selection of the teeth, but about the vertical dimension. So the height of the teeth can be judged out of it. And as this is a complete denture patient, if he has the old dentures with him, that is also one of the reliable and useful guideline. Of course, that denture has to fulfill the requirements and patient has to be satisfied with it. If not so, you are permitted to make the changes, those which are feasible and according to the aesthetics and phonetics permit. Then come to the size. How to select the size of the anterior teeth. It has been taught to you in the pre-clinics that there are certain landmarks on which you mark the points, and you, after contouring the wax rim, there are certain guidelines on your wax rims. Accordingly also you select the teeth. The most important, that there in the pre-clinics you don't have any other guidelines, but in the patients it has to go along with the patient. There has to be the harmony, you can say, in the selection of your teeth, and whatever, it has to match with the patient's records. That is the size of the face, size of the maxillary arch, inciso papilla, buccal frenum and canine eminence position, proportions in size of maxillary and mandibular arch, contour of residual ridges, vertical distance between the ridges, lip length and the competency. Now what are the methods? How to select the mesiodistal width? The Berry in 1906, he has given the formula. It is called as Berry's biometric ratio method. The size of face, the basis of this formula is the size of the face. So the biozygomatic width divided by 16 is equal to the, it gives the estimated width of the maxillary central incisor. If you have to select one central incisor, this is based on the averages. The bizygomatic width means the, you know, the zygomatic process of the maxilla. So the most prominent part of the zygoma, from there you have to mark the 2 points on the patient's face, and then you have to measure the bizygomatic width divided by 16 gives you the idea about the mesiodistal width of one central incisor. Or else the bizygomatic width divided by 3.3 is equal to the approximate width of all 6 anteriors. This is going to help you in the mesiodistal width selection of all the anterior teeth. But you cannot rely on only this one method. There are different guidelines. Like the size of the maxillary arch. Now what do you mean by accurately contoured maxillary rims? The accurately contoured maxillary rim, if it is possible for you to contour your wax rim properly, all your problems mostly will be nullified in due steps. Accurately contoured means the width of the maxillary rim in the anterior region, in the posterior region, it has to provide the proper lip support, so that the ultimate position of your anterior teeth, where it is going to come, will be decided here at the time of the jaw relation, because this wax rim is going to be replaced with the teeth. Then the different procedure or the step is there, guideline. Measurement from the crest of inciso papilla to both hamular notches joined by the line. This way you can do the measurements on the cast. It has been shown this is the incisive papilla, these are the canine eminences and the hamular notches. If you draw the lines, it will be an equilateral triangle. From the center you can divide this into two equilateral triangles, and see this how we measure the distance from canine line. As you all of you know that certain indices you have to make on the wax rims, that is your canine lines, and distance from one canine line to other canine line give you the approximate width of all 6 anteriors. The curved scale has been used over here to measure it, so that you can straighten it up and then you can put it on your teeth card what is provided, and accordingly the 6 anteriors can be selected. Incisive papilla, buccal frenum and canine eminence position. As you know that the position of incisive papilla to the central incisor, it is about 8 to 10 millimeters. These are the basic principles how to prepare your wax rims that already you have learned in your second year preclinics. So this way also the position of the central incisor can be judged. Here the canine papilla line is this passing through the eminences and through the center of the papilla in the denture. Contour of the residual ridges. Why it is so important for you to know to take the proper intraoral examination of the patient? Because this is also one of the factors which affects the selection of the anterior teeth, and you should have to have the knowledge of the direction of the resorption. As all of you know that the maxilla shrinks when it resorbs inward, and mandible it is outward. So there will be always cross-arch relationship in due course of time as the resorption pattern of the bone is such, and there are different type of the ridges form in the shape it is available. This is the square shape maxillary arch. Diagrammatically it could be like this, and here it goes along with the selection of the tooth, that is the shape. So if such type of ridge is there, you can go with the square type of selection of the teeth. If the ridge is tapering, then the tapering form of the tooth could be selected. If the ridge is ovoid, then this form of the tooth can be selected. So this is again the size and the shape of the arches will guide the selection of the teeth, how it should be. Coming to the vertical distance between the ridges. This is about the mesodistal width we have seen. Now what about the height of the tooth, that is the cervico-incisal height of the tooth. Because you have only the limited space available, you know what is the vertical dimension, and you have to accommodate both the maxillary and the mandibular teeth in such a way that they has to function and there has to be accommodation of the particular height of the teeth. This distance is not in the hands of the operator. This is the anatomic or the patient factor, and you have to do such a selection of teeth that it should fit and it should function also within that limited space. So the length of the teeth will be decided according to the vertical distance between the ridges, and that will be decided by the vertical relation. Lip length and the competency. Incisal edge position. As all of you know that when you arrange the teeth, you do the trial of that particular denture inside the oral cavity, and you ask the patient to say certain words. You ask the patient to speak, and then you observe, you look at the patient, because if you have observed naturally that when you speak, your incisal edges or the exposure of the anterior teeth takes place, and that has to be judged, because that is the most important thing which is going to give the aesthetics to the patient. At the same time, phonetics is also one of the method, because the position of the teeth, not only the selection but the arrangement of the teeth also matters. Where you are placing the teeth, ideally it should be exactly in the place where the natural teeth were, but certain alterations are mandatory. So the incisal edge position is the exposure of the teeth where it comes. There are certain norms for it. Then coming to the form of the anterior teeth. How do we select the form of the teeth? According to the form of face and contour of the face. We have seen intraorally, same extraorally, The classification has been given by the Williams according to the form of the for the form of the face: square, tapering, and ovoid. You can in this format you can place your patient. That's why the clinical examination is very important. This is going to change your treatment plan, and this is going to help you in the selection of the teeth. You have to categorize the patient face form into these basic forms, and accordingly then you can correlate your selection of the teeth for that particular patient. Now coming to the dentogenic concept. It is dentogenics. It is the concept which is given by the Fresh and Fisher in 1955. This concept is based on the SPA factor, that is sex, personality and age. It is given aesthetics in the denture. That, as you know, how does this factor is going to affect the selection of teeth. Now let us take first one, that is the sex. Whether the patient is male or female, there are certain characteristics of it which has to be incorporated in the selection of the teeth. That I am going to tell you in detail. Then which type of personality is that particular patient is. Basically we can classify the personalities into three, that is vigorous, that is stubborn or the robust personality, medium pleasing and the delicate. I will show you the examples. And certain patients, they might lose the teeth at the young age also. So whether they are young or old, there are the specific characteristics of that particular patient lying with the age. As this can be seen into this, you can see this the difference between the two central incisors. This is the central incisor where the patient is young. Here you can see the mamelons. Means the natural curvature of the tooth been maintained over here. As you know that as the age advances, because of the function, the incisal edges of the teeth get attenuated and it becomes thick. So if you look at this tooth, you can easily identify that this is the tooth of the young person, this is the tooth of the old person. Sex. Can you see the difference between these two lateral incisors? This side you can see both the line angles, that is the mesial and distal, been rounded off. This is what is the basic quality of the femininity, roundness. Here it is again straight. In third one, that is the canine, if the patient is having the vigorous personality, you can see the sharp tip of the canine. And it definitely changes the look of the patient. Here you can see the soft type of personality, it has the gentle curvature over here. This will be more clear in this. Based on the sex, that is one of the important factor. The curved facial features is the symbol of the femininity. Here you can see how this is what is the, it has to follow the curvature of the lower lip. Then the smile is very pleasant. Here you can see the curvatures and the teeth, they are giving the soft look, very gentle look. In the contrast, you can see here the square shaped teeth, straight. This square features is again the symbolism of the masculinity. So whether your patient is male or female, accordingly those characteristics has to be provided in the teeth which will suit to that particular personality. So that means it is in the hands of the operator also to change the personality of the patient by the way of selection of the teeth, the type of teeth, the form of the teeth what you are selecting. The expression of the feminine characteristics illustrates the roundness, smoothness and softness which is typical of women. And incisal edges must follow a curve rather than a straight line. This is the curve in the first picture I have shown you. This should follow the curve. In male, mostly it is a straight line. These are the masculine characteristics. A scheme of the masculine form that illustrates the cuboidal, hard, muscular, vigorous experience which is typical of male. If you see this is almost a straight line than a curvature. In females, it has to follow this lower lip contour. Based on the age, as you have seen the patients of the young age and the old age, there are facial features which designates the age. The loss of the curves curvature. See here on the patient's face in the young age, you can see this folds and the muscle tonicity. As the muscle tonicity has been lost, this old age patient gives the expression, the what you can say, the face looks like expressionless because the muscles become flaccid. There are the features which goes along with the age. Then the attrition of the teeth, which has to be, which is not visible over here, which has to be provided. Then the personality. There are three types of personality basically. All of us, we can fit into the any category of it. The delicate, medium pleasing and the vigorous. The delicate meaning fragile, frail and opposite of the robust. This is the Aries. You can see the robust personality. The features of it can be determined through the shape of the teeth. Medium pleasing meaning normal, moderately robust, healthy and of intelligent appearance, the sheep. The vigorous, that is, the delicate one is fragile, frail and opposite of robust. This is giraffe. Now this will be more clear in this picture as these personalities are very well known and you all of you know it. Look at the Kapil Dev and see the straight line, the vigorous personality, the square shaped teeth. Dhoni, the medium pleasing. See the smile line. And here the Amir Khan, that is the delicate personality. Don't you think that these personalities, we can make them fit into these criteria? And of course, we all fit into any one category of it, accordingly which for that particular personality you have to, this could be one of the, what you can say, the feature which has to be incorporated, or this personality, if it fits into this category, your selection of teeth has to go along with. There should not be any conflict between the personality and the type of teeth you are going to select, because this is going to affect it. Now coming to shade selection. This is also one of the very important criteria. Like for example, if the patient is having very dark complexion and if you give very white shining teeth to it, it won't look aesthetic. Definitely anybody can point it out that this is artificial one. So the shade selection should be such that it should match with the patient face color, skin color and the color of the eyes. There are different means by which we select the shade with the help of the shade guides. These shade guides are available. And of course the patient itself. Here you can see the teeth of the darker shade, teeth exactly white. So this teeth, where in which patient it will suit, that you have to decide. Shade selection. This is a very important clinical significant selection from the because here you get certain idea and the consent from the patient, so that this shade selection has to be approved by the patient. Ultimately, when you fabricate the denture, at that time patient should not reject it. It is based on patient hair and eye color, skin complexion and age, of course. You cannot give a very shining, sharp curvature teeth in the old patient. You have to create those characteristics in the teeth itself which will represent all these things, that is the sex, age and the personality. This is very particularly important for the anterior teeth. It has been recommended to select the darker shade for the older individuals. Why so? Because as you know, as the age advances, the size of the pulp chamber got reduced and it gives a dark appearance. So for the older patients, you have to select the dark shade. Darker shade for male and vigorous and bold personality. Lighter shade for women patients with delicate personality. And lighter shade may be selected for central incisor than for the canine. As you have the teeth available in stocks and we give you the ready-made strips in which all the 6 anterior has been provided, and how to create the shade changes, that is, you have to, according to that particular personality, that can be created. At this stage you people may not know it, but the teeth can be particularly made for that particular patient also, which could fulfill the demands of the aesthetics. In young patient, you can clearly visualize the incisal edges of little bit blue appearance, body and then the cervically yellow, dark yellow. So this way, these are the teeth which represents the young personality, because in the young age, the thickness of the enamel in the incisal edge, light is reflected through it. In the old age, it becomes a little bit grey and body becomes yellow, as I told you, because of the regression of the pulp chamber. The qualities, the shade has the qualities. What are those? Qualities of color, that is hue, chroma and value. Hue is a specific color produced by a specific wavelength of light acting on the retina. So it is the perception of the specific color which we perceive, because aesthetics is nothing but what the perception you got of that particular object. The light falls on the object, it gets reflected, come back to your retina, and that perception, that image get created. That is what is your perception of the color is. For that, you should know the basic principles, what it is, that is hue, or the name of the radiant energy or the color, that is the basic color. Then the chroma, it is the amount of color per unit area of an object. For the selection of teeth, you should have to have the knowledge of this. For example, some teeth appear more yellow than others. So the difference is caused by the amount of white or black per unit area. It is the amount of color per unit area of an object. Then comes the value. It is the lightness or darkness of an object which varies. Fair people, they have the teeth with less color, less saturated and lighter in color. The dark people have dark teeth and are in harmony with the color of the face. There should not be mismatch between the shade of the teeth, shade of the patient's skin and the hair color. Because nowadays it is possible that when you do the teeth selection, even the eyes of the color can be changed. The hair colors, they are so much in market. So your selection of teeth should be very judicious. It has to go along with the patient's, whatever the artificial coloring has been done. So that you have to ask the patient which shade patient, of course you have to take into account patient wish also. Then the factors which affect the shade of the teeth, that is skin color, hair color, eye color, which leads to various different combinations. Tomorrow we didn't know that sometime the patient, that time will come that the patient will ask you the matching teeth which goes along with its hair color. But today we have to do the judicious decision about the shade of the color by taking into patient factor in consideration. It is impractical to produce teeth with all kind of combinations. Some patients, they are very much concerned about the aesthetics, and for them the selection of artificial teeth is a very major vital issue. There are certain practical limitations with material also that has to be told to the patient. The face is the basic guide to select the tooth color. Basically, when patient wear the dentures, when patient speaks, when patient smiles, when patient does functions, the portion of that particular processes of the complete denture which is going to get exposed are the teeth. So it has to go along with the patient face color. There should not be the gross difference between the color of the face and the shade of the tooth. The blend of qualities of color will lead to harmony in appearance of teeth during their stay in the oral cavity. Always, you must have seen that whenever we put the dentures in the patient's oral cavity, we first put it in the bowl of water. That thin film of the liquid, that also makes difference because the reflectance differs. Now coming to the materials, two types of materials are available. In acrylic, the acrylic and the porcelain. You all have seen the acrylic teeth as well as the porcelain teeth. It gives dull look and little bit of compromise aesthetics is there, because the natural teeth, they are shiny, vibrant, which could not be produced in the acrylic one. Though we do the polish of the artificial teeth in the acrylic is very good, but still the reflectance is different because of the basic nature of the material. The porcelain teeth gives the excellent aesthetic. Let us see the difference between the acrylic teeth and the porcelain teeth. The first is the wear. In the Acrylic teeth, if you have seen the patients who is wearing the dentures since years together, when they come to you, the significant wear of the tooth has been taken place, which is not the case in the porcelain teeth. Now basically, in the patients, it goes along with the resorption of the bone. The stresses which been absorbed by the acrylic, it is plastic in nature. It absorbs the stresses and it reduces those stresses to go in the bone, which ultimately reduces the bone resorption. It absorbs, which is not the case in the porcelain. So biologically, if you see, for the taking the health of the patient into consideration or the preservation of the residual ridges, it is better to have the acrylic teeth, mostly in the posterior region, because the porcelain teeth, they give you excellent aesthetics. So if it is a combination of anterior teeth in the porcelain teeth in the anterior region and the acrylic teeth in the posterior region, it will be a better combination. This wear is definitely and directly proportional to the physical properties of the material. Fracture toughness. As I told you, these teeth, they are plastic in nature and it absorbs the stresses. These are brittle. Retention, chemical bonding and the mechanical bonding. The chemical bonding takes place with the acrylic teeth of the denture base. As you know that the denture base is also acrylic, basically the material used is acrylic resin, and teeth, they are also made up of acrylic resin. So there is a chemical bonding when you fabricate the denture, when you pack the denture, there is chemical bonding takes place between the teeth and the denture base, which is not the case in the porcelain teeth. You can see these holes and the pins. So these are the pins and these are the holes on the lingual surface of the anterior teeth, and this is the surface where you attach the base of the denture. This is because with the help of the diadoric holes and the pins, that is the mechanical bonding takes place between the porcelain and the acrylic, because physical properties of both the materials are different. It is very easy and possible to grind and shape the tooth, as acrylic can be trimmed. It is difficult to grind. If you grind the porcelain teeth, you will come to know how difficult it is, and it requires a special type of burrs for it, that is the rotary instruments, special rotary instruments, and to change the shape of porcelain is very difficult. It is silent on contact. That means when patient masticates, when patient does function or the phonetics, when patient speaks, the teeth, they come in contact but they don't produce much noise. The sound which is produced, the damping effect is there, but there is a sharp impact sound when the porcelain teeth, they come in contact, and sometimes we call it as a clattering sound when the porcelain teeth, they contact with each other. Minimal abrasion. If we are using this artificial teeth or the acrylic teeth with that of the opposing natural dentition, it doesn't produce much abrasion or it doesn't affect the natural dentition. But here the abrasion of the opposing natural teeth will take place with the porcelain, because this material is brittle in nature. With the use, it gets discolored in due course of time because it absorbs the oral fluids and it gets stained easily. But as they are color stable, the color of the anterior teeth will not change. Dimensional changes, this is ideally the teeth should not change the dimensions, but because of the properties of the material, as you know, it is soft in nature, so the dimensional changes, because you have to place the denture in water, some very few less amount of dimensional changes takes place in the acrylic teeth, and these are dimensionally stable. So if you see, both has its own advantages and disadvantages. That's why I said that if it is aesthetic is the prime consideration, you can go for the selection of the teeth, that is the porcelain teeth for the anterior. So at the end, I would like to say that complete denture fabrication not only replaces the missing teeth but also restores the function, aesthetics, phonetics, and it should provide comfort to the patient. After wearing the denture, patient should be able to masticate. patient should look pleasant, patient should be able to speak with the dentures comfortably. In that, the selection of teeth in complete denture is one of the most important steps in providing desired effect of aesthetics related to gender, personality and age, because this in toto will give you the combined effect of pleasant personality, and it should be as natural as possible. Proper selection will also provide comfort and satisfaction, which will restore the confidence of the patient. So patient with the artificial substitutes in the oral cavity, that is the dentures what you have made, should be able to face the society with confidence, and ideally nobody should be able to detect that the patient is wearing the artificial dentures. Now this will be a question for you people, how you are going to select the teeth for this particular lady. Next time you can tell me. Thank you.